Let's roll. Monday Night Meltdown has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the patrons, everybody else in between. We step up and in after a rare night off on Sunday night. As the countdown is on, we'll be hitting up Toronto at the end of the week. We're already through Monday right now. Should be a pretty quick week, actually. Next thing you know, we'll be in Toronto this Friday night. Raptors and Spurs. Unfortunately, the tickets aren't getting any fucking cheaper. And if anything, they're actually going up. They're actually going up, but whatever. It is what it is. We'll deal with that later in the week. We appreciate you joining us here this evening. We're going to try to keep things on track and keep the schedule going, so I'm not beaten down and terrorized by the end of the week this week. We got a light night tonight, a little college basketball. We hit the Virginia Tech game. That went over the number. We gave you that. We got a money line parlay alive with Virginia and Wisconsin. Wisconsin are up by 5 with 10 minutes left. We've got the over in the K-State West Virginia game, and we're on the Tampa Bay Lightning, who last I saw were up 3-0. So it could be a good start to the week. Try to build the account up. Now, I stumbled upon something over at FanDuel, man. They got some CFL numbers up right now. And they got some CFL futures up. And I see the Hamilton Tiger Cats are in a 9-1 range. Now, I don't think the Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to win a Grey Cup, but at 9-1, all they have to do is fucking get there. It'll really come down to one game, you know? They'll have home field. The Eastern Division is shit. They'll have home field. And then we'll just need, they'll need to win the crossover game, though. The thing is, like, the Eastern Division final will probably be a team from the West, so it won't be that easy. We did this with the Argos before. Remember when the Argos a couple of years ago, I said the same thing. I'm like, man, it's 7-1. Fuck, they're going to win the division. All you have to do is win one game. And that's exactly what happened. Fuck, they won one game, and they're in the fucking Grey Cup. Like, CFL futures are different, right? There's only 2 playoff games. So if Hamilton wins a division, they get a bye week, then they will have a tough game. They'll play Winnipeg or fucking Saskatchewan or something in Hamilton. But if then they get to the Grey Cup, then I have them at 9-1. Then I can fucking hedge, right? What's up, Frank? Hello, Eagles fan. Shano, Vegas Gun, Brett B, Jordan Kovacs, Bruce Chad. The only thing is, it's a long wait, man. Like, right, I was thinking about it, like, the CFL season's not even close to starting. It's not even close to starting. Like, well, when's the CFL? What's up, Truth? When's the CFL season start? Like, fucking late June? Mid-June? Late June? They started it earlier last year, like mid-June. Which I've always thought that they should do. They should start, like, in June. The CFL is all about tradition. But they should change their tradition. Like, they should move up earlier and they should end earlier. Like, I get it. The last fucking Sunday in November is Grey Cup Day. It's pretty, it's pretty sacred. It's pretty sacred, but let's shake it up, fuck. For number one, it's fucking cold. Actually, it's not that cold. The weather's fucking all whacked everywhere. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it isn't. Like, with these Grey Cups even, it's not cold anymore. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, I'm just stating, there's no need. Like, you can move it all up. The only reason they don't move it up is because of hockey. And especially like compete less with the NFL. That's the thing. That's another positive fight. You know what I mean? Like the Labor Day weekend, Labor Day classics in the CFL are always cool, but they'd be even cooler if they met more in the standings. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone even admits the saying in the CFL is the season doesn't start until Labor Day. And that's true. Like they always say that. It's, games don't count until Labor Day. There's fucking 18 fucking games. You start playing in fucking June, you're still playing in fucking November. It's ridiculous. Like it's too long. Like you got to shorten it. And I'm not even saying your season shouldn't be 18 games. Should have kept it fucking 16 fucking games. They made it 16 games, then it was 17 games, then it was 18 games. Should be 16 fucking games. And it should be 14 fucking games. You want to be real. Should be 14 games. Well, 16, all right, fine. Fucking 16, fine. I mean, there's only, there's going to be 10 teams soon, so at least it'll be better. But start a little earlier. And it's only because of hockey. But the thing is, TSN, you don't even have the hockey rights. So that's why they started earlier last year, because they don't like getting beaten and have nothing all month. So fucking started earlier even more. Fuck. I'd started in June. If I was a commissioner of the CFL, like week 1 would be like fucking June 7th type shit. And this way, then you end up wrapping it up in like fucking November. You know what I mean? Like November, the first Sunday in November, the season's over. You don't go head to head. Look, I love the CFL, and even me, fuck, like it's hard, man. Like they're fucking idiots. They play Thursday and Friday nights all fucking year long, and then suddenly when the NFL starts, they start playing Sundays and shit. Like it makes no sense. I get it. Oh, because of the college on Saturday in Canada, but whatever, man. Fuck college. Just play on Saturday fucking night, man. Whatever, dude. But anyways. Since when do I bet futures? I'm going to start betting futures. It's my new retirement plan. I'm dead serious. It's my new retirement plan. I want to start playing a little stocks too, but I'll start with the futures. I used to be too impatient for futures and figure, wow, fuck. I'm not going to place this bet. Who knows what'll happen in the next year or shit. But the way I look at it now is like, whatever. If I'm dead, I'm dead. It doesn't matter. Right? And if I'm alive, then I'll be glad I played the future. We leave too many futures on the table. Like a good example right now is like, what's Duke to win the fucking national title? Well, let's see what Duke is. All right, they don't have futures up there. Let me check out here. Where the fucking futures at? Fuck. All right, let me find this. Oh yeah, FanDuel will have it. Let's see. What like Duke's gonna win the national championship. Like it's possible they don't, but like put it this way, like just when's Duke getting knocked out? They're not getting knocked out in the first fucking weekend. They're not going to get knocked out in the second weekend. So then they're in the Final Four. And then anything can happen once you get to the Final Four. Shit gets crazy. Anything can happen when you get to the Final Four, but Duke plus 190 right now. I think a lot of people would have been happy if he got hit by a bike. I wouldn't. Like I said, I don't mind Pierre McGuire. I got nothing against him. What do they have here? College basketball. College basketball futures. Here we are. All right, Duke plus 180. Like there really is Duke and everyone else. One thing is Duke do choke. You know what I mean? Like Duke do choke sometimes. As evident, like Krzyzewski hasn't won in a while. Like they win every few years now type thing. But this is a different Duke team that are just much better than everybody else. Well, I'm just saying, there's not, I've been watching more and more college basketball over the last few weeks, and there's really not that many great teams, There's a lot of fucking sort of good teams, but, every year is the same in a tournament. Listen, we go by the formula, right? We go by Mark Lawrence's formula, and it's produced a national championship the last 22 years, with the two exceptions of UConn when they were both, were out of left field. But there's a formula to March Madness and who will win. We'll give you the formula as soon as the seeds are known, we'll know the formula. Like, we already know all the attributes. You need to give up more than 70. You need to score more than 73 points a game. So you pretty much discount Virginia and Michigan. Michigan will make it to the Final Four. Yeah, you got Duke, Gonzaga are pretty good. Gonzaga beat Duke this year, but I don't think they would beat them again. There's not a lot of value at plus 180, but there's no value at taking Duke at plus 180 right now because, to be honest with you, when the tournament starts, it'll be like the same thing. It won't be much different. You know what I mean? What's going to change between now and then? Like, it's a couple of weeks away. So what's the point? What, you got about 180 right now? It's too bad because 40-year, like earlier in the year, they were like plus 400, even earlier in the year, 500. But there's a lot of frauds. Michigan State just lost one of their best players. And they always choke in the tournament. Tennessee are good, but they're kind of overrated. They won't. They bounced. Virginia are really good. Virginia will be in the mix, but they don't score a lot. Like, they'll get fucked. Like, they're going to run into somebody that'll score more than they will. It happens every year. I buy into Virginia all the time, man. And, like, you think about it, it's like they can't score. Like, they just can't score enough. Like, even though they're great defensively and shit, whatever, dude. Like, you end up playing a good team at some point in the Elite Eight or something, and at some point, one of these kids on the other team is going to start hitting threes. Like, that's what happened to Virginia last year. It was like Maryland, Baltimore County, but they kept hitting threes. And it's like, oh, fuck, suddenly we're down by 8. And Virginia started forcing it. They're not built. It's like a football team that runs the ball. They can't throw when they're down. That's sort of Michigan's problem as well. Michigan's a little better at coming back because they can hit threes, but Michigan are very, like, there's a fine line for Michigan. Michigan are a bitch to play against, and Beilein's a great tournament coach, as evidence of his 3 fucking Final Fours in the last 6 years. But same shit. Like, we hit the wall. Look, in the title game, like, we just can't score enough. Like, Duke can score, right? Like, they're going to have, like, Duke will have the best athletes on the court. You get the feeling they're going to get it done this year. I really don't see a dark horse here. Like I said, Michigan could beat Duke. Gonzaga, maybe. I'm not buying Kentucky. I don't believe in Tennessee. Michigan State, no. They just lost one of their top players. North Carolina, no. Purdue's not winning. Texas Tech's not winning. Auburn ain't winning. Houston ain't winning. You know what I mean? You start going down the list here. Houston will be all right. Houston will go on a little run here. We'll bet some regional shit, but yeah, I'm going to start to get into the futures more. Let's see, like the NBA. Not a lot of value with the NBA right now either. Golden State Warriors minus 210. That's actually not bad odds, to be honest with you. It's not a bad bet, to be honest. You take the Golden State Warriors at minus 210 and whatever. In the finals, you could take whatever other team for a massive hedge. Like the Raptors are plus 900. They're the second choice to win the title. There's not really a ton of value with the Raptors at 9-1. Only because when they play the Warriors, the Raptors be like plus fucking 550 anyways. Fuck. Like FanDuel have playoff specials up. This is pretty cool. To make the playoffs, Detroit Pistons minus 170, Miami Heat minus 160, Orlando Magic minus 140. The division winners. Unbelievable. Last week, the Orlando Magic, we talked about it. They were 7 and 8 to 1. It's 2 to 1 there now to win a division. It's fucking bullshit fucking number. NBA six man of the year, Derrick Rose, Lou Williams. It's like they're taking bets for everything over FanDuel. James Harden. Orlando Magic minus 140 to make the playoffs. Lakers plus 100. Sacramento Kings are plus 210 to make the playoffs. What are they? So the Kings. Kings are one game out of a playoff spot. I don't see how the Clippers maintain this. I think Sacramento could make the playoffs. They can. You got the Lakers, they're right there too. The Lakers are 3 games out of a playoff spot. You got the power of LeBron. Last night in that All-Star game was a real fucking heartbreaker, man. We had Team Giannis at plus 185 on the money line. I had a plus 5.5. They're fucking up by 20 points, man. There's nothing I could do either. I bet it at FanDuel, fuck. You know what I mean? Part of me knew, listen, they're up by 20. I think it was 16 at the half or 18 at the half, and I knew LeBron was the play in the second half at minus 7.5. I even told someone, asked me on Twitter. I didn't think they were going to come all the way back and win the game, though. Fucking Team Giannis, man, they just took the pedal off the metal. And like they should have just went for the jugular when they're up by 20. Like make it 40 type shit. Fuck. Just fucking smoke them. The over was free money. I knew that shit. I should have just fucking like hammered everything on the over. I put a nice play on the over, but it was very frustrating. Fuck. Like I said, it was looking so good because the total, I was like, damn right, I hit the over for sure. So I smashed the over, and I had Giannis. I was like, man, I'm going to hit the over. I'm going to hit this plus 185 and the 5. It's going to be good. I hit St. John's earlier. I was thinking, oh, it's going to be a nice little Sunday here. And then, holy fuck, man, the wheels just fell off. And then once you saw the wheels fall off, you could tell it was over. Like, it was just one shot after another of like fucking 3-ball, miss, 3-ball, miss, 3-ball. What's up, Sinbad? What's up, Kyle Johnson? Ryan C. It looks like FanDuel here. They got a lot of interesting props. Got a lot of interesting props up. Holy fuck. Well, this is interesting. I was going to say, so with nothing going on tonight, basically at like 5 minutes to 8, fuck, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll play a little college basketball DFS. Except I fucking played 25 cents jukebox. I had $1.10 on my account. I'm like, fuck, I'll just enter this 25-cent one. There's 237 people. I'm in first place, fuck. First place is $10 for 25 cents. But I'm actually in first place right now. What's up, Cody? I've never won a tournament before, so I'll take it out of pride right now. You know what I mean? I can finally say, you know what I mean? I finally won a fucking tournament. You know? They're saying, fuck, I should have fucking entered the dollar one. I had $1.10, but I just saw the 25-cent one. I only had like 6 minutes. They didn't have, there wasn't a lot of college options, guys. There was like a $33 one, a fucking, there wasn't a lot of action, you know? Yeah, let's hope it's the summer. So we think on, you know, Hainzer's actually in Toronto, and you would know the bars, but I think I know a good spot for us on Saturday night. Wild Wing. Wild Wing on Bathurst and King Street. Oh, fuck me. Are the Leafs playing the Habs on that night? Fuck. Where's that game? In Toronto or in Montreal? Oh, in Toronto. Holy fuck. Well, I'm going to the basketball game Friday. I'm not going to the hockey game, too. Yeah, so I was going to say, Wild Wing on King and Bathurst is a good spot for this. And I say that because, number one, they have good Wi-Fi there. I've been there before. I was there when I was in Toronto like a couple of months ago. I had like 2 hours to kill before the airport at Billy Bishop. And it was Sunday. NFL football was on. So I was like, fuck, I'll just go watch the game here for a little while. And the Wi-Fi was good. I remember I was on the computer and shit, play some bets. And also, it's usually not that busy. Because that's the whole thing, Kyle. I don't want a bumping place. This place is never busy. It's really small, though. And, you know, there's a couple of regulars that sit at the bar and hit on the waitress and shit, you know, the bartender. You know, I lived in the area. I used to walk past it, and I always used to look like there's a place right beside it that's packed, and there's a place across the street, the Elephant Castle or whatever, that's pretty packed, or the White Castle or something Castle. But yeah, so as I stated, and you know what? There's another place too. There's a few places there that'll be good for this. Like I said, like we go to Real Sports or something. Fuck, it's gonna be fucking loud, dark, fucking expensive as hell. You know what I mean? Like, we need like a bar, tavern, pub type thing. Just set up at a few tables, Wi-Fi, do the show on Patreon, meet people, get wasted on Saturday night, watch the games. I'll accept that. You know what I mean? I'll accept there'll be no AF on TV there. It'll be hockey, hockey, hockey. Saturday night is night of hockey. What's up, Vegas gun? Saturday night's a night of hockey. I didn't know the Canadians were playing the Leafs. See, that's the thing. If it's jammed, but the thing is, I'll get there early. Like if the hockey game's at 7, we'll get there at 6. Set up shop and shit. It'll be an earlier. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing, Haynes. They're like, if the Leafs are playing the Habs, it's a Saturday night. You know what I mean? Get there. We'll get there. I'll get there like 6:30. Get a few tables. Quite a few people responded on Twitter saying they're going to come, but like I said, I'm not pushing this like a major show. People can come down and hang out if they want to, you know. But yeah, I thought of the Wild Wing place. It's good. It's a good spot. And like Hanger said too, there's other bars in the area and shit if we go out after or whatever. And also, it's a good part of Toronto. You know what I mean? It's like it's very essential part of Toronto. Like for people that aren't from Toronto or whatever, people live in Toronto. It's like very, there's public transit. It's fucking very, very central, like type thing. Anyone can get there from anywhere. Like in Illinois, just won't go away. Yeah, so that's where we're leading right now. Wild Wing. Like Shula's Joe's. Shula's Joe's is gone, isn't it, Haynes? Like on King and John Street. Cam told me it closed, or it was closing, or I think it is closed. I'm trying to find out. There was a place called the Dogs Bullocks, and it closed when I left Toronto. It was all boarded up, but they were opening up a new sports bar there. That's a very big place too, but it's probably very loud and fucking. You know what I mean? Like Wild Wings is kind of small and like. Is it open that place now, Haynes? That new sports bar? Me, I really don't care. There'll probably end up only being about 15 of us, maybe 10, 20, 15, whatever. You know what I mean? We don't need that big of a place, just any sort of bar. But, Wi-Fi. Like I said, the thing with that Wild Wings place is it's never that packed. Like I've never seen it packed before. Now, I'm sure with the Leafs and the Habs, the regulars will be there and shit, but it's tough because I'm not there and I'll only be there. Like if I was there now, I could walk around. I'd be like, all right, this place. But whatever, we'll tweet it out. It's all good. The Friday night, I'm going to go to the game. Go out after the game, wherever we end up type thing. It'll be a busy next month or so, month and a half or so. We got this week. We've got this week. We got March Madness around the corner. We're going to go to Atlantic City for a couple of days. I'd like to set it up where we do the show from there, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Probably just I'll probably go to Atlantic City on the Friday. But it ain't no problem. Fuck. Thursday I can go to the FanDuel book and shit. It'll be off the hook. I can go to the FanDuel book Thursday, and then Friday afternoon I can do the morning show, and then head to Atlantic City. Get to Atlantic City. That's perfect. I'll be in Atlantic City. How long will it take me? A couple hours? Do the weekend in Atlantic City. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We got the Big East basketball tournament here in New York as well, leading up to the March Madness. That'll be taking some live games, so it's gonna be a lot of basketball fun. Live college basketball, Big East tournament. Listen, the Big East tournament's like the granddaddy of all the tournaments. Like when you talk about there's been some classic moments. Saturday night at the Garden, the title game and shit. You got the semifinal on Friday and all that. It'll be cool. So I'm going to take in some of this Big East basketball. I think Kyle Hamburg might come up for that. We'll go to the games at the Garden. And then the following week, we'll go to fucking Atlantic City for the casinos. And then after that, things will calm down for a couple of weeks. I'm going to have to go back to Toronto again, too, unless I can pull this vocal shit off here. But whatever, man. I got to fix the fucking scourge part. I said scourge. Scourge, I could live with it, but we've been outvoted that it's scourge. It'll literally take like fucking half an hour. I have to go there and it's going to take me like half an hour, but I don't really mind, to be honest. I got shit I got to take care of in Toronto that I can't take care of this week. And then after that, the playoffs, the basketball playoffs will be around the corner. Oh, yeah, no, WrestleMania. Oh, yeah, our boy Rockamaniac, I saw, said he's going to be in Toronto. See, Rockamaniac's going to come down here for they're going to come down for WrestleMania. Yeah, we'll enjoy the spring, all the sports and shit like that. We'll ride it out. We'll see what happens moving into next year. Moving into September type of thing, It's all I don't really take things one day at a time, but you want to get things a little settled. You want to get things a little settled. But we got to get this homicide shit done. It's already done, but like fucking website and fucking cover and all that type of shit. We got to get serious about this. Can't sit on this fucking shit. We went through all this fucking work, so I've been looking up. I looked up websites and shit. Obviously, homicide.com is taken. It actually doesn't exist for some reason. All right, we're 2-0 now tonight. Cash the parlay. Virginia, Wisconsin, winner. Cash it. That's 2-0. Plus, we're going to win that hockey game. What's 5-0? That's going to be 3-0. Well, you guys scared me with the 7-5 shit. 6-5. It's 5-1 Lightning. Boom. So 3-0. Hey, so not bad. We're 3-0 with this over in the K-State game pending. What's the score at the half? It's not going to. It's a little light, but we're not out of it. We need over 130. They're at 126.5. The in-game total is 126.5 at the half. So we're 3.5 points off the pace for a 4-0 sweep. And we're still in first place here in this DraftKings tournament. Let's fucking hit this. Come on, motherfuckers. It'd be nice to win. Like, I could finally boast and say, yes, I fucking finally won a DraftKings tournament. Yeah, so like I said, the Wild Wings would be a good spot for this, I think. Good location. Good location. I checked. It doesn't seem to be too cold this weekend in Toronto. And then this summer sometime, I'll try to make it out to Vancouver again. I'll take a look at the BC Lion. It's funny because nobody in BC goes to BC Lion games, but we'll take a look at the schedule and see when the BC Lions are playing. I've always wanted to go to a Lion game at BC Place. I've never been to one. I like those Saturday night, late night games in BC. With the Lions signing Mike Riley too, they're sending a message at least that they're trying, right? Because we talked about it. Like the BC Lions can't draw people unless they're good. Even if they're good, they're only they're not going to sell the place out. But if they're not good, they're screwed. If they're good, they can get people. So at least they're acting in good faith at least so far by getting fucking Mike Riley. Here's some more. Here's some more media manipulation. This is funny. So it says here that Joe Flacco is drawing interest from other teams besides the Broncos. According to sources, the Washington Redskins were also interested in trading for Joe Flacco. Yet, of course, this also comes out of Denver. Oh no, it seems to me like all this shit, all this stuff coming out of Denver all the time. All this stuff coming out of Denver all the time is basically, it seems him like trying to defend this Flacco. Hey, look, other teams wanted him. It's like, I don't know. I'm not really, I don't really see the Washington Redskins. Tokens, good point. It's like, Nick Foles costs the same amount of money, although he wants a larger contract. He wants a little bit more money. Teams are going to have to make up their mind. The thing with Nick Foles is, you have to ask yourself: is Nick Foles really, really good, or was Nick Foles just in the right situation for some reason? I tend to believe that it's more of that. That I think Nick Foles is a good quarterback, but I don't think he'll be as good on other teams. Like Nick Foles isn't a franchise saver type thing. You know what I mean? Like anyone that thinks that. I think Nick Foles is the type of quarterback who he's good if he's surrounded by really good players and good play calling. You can say that about a lot of guys, but like Nick Foles isn't this like sheer stud fucking free agent, Look, Teddy Bridgewater's out there. Teddy Bridgewater's good too, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think teams will be reluctant to trust Teddy Bridgewater just because of the health stuff over the years, but Bridgewater's a good quarterback. Nick Foles is a good fit for a few teams. Specifically Nick Foles is a good fit for Jacksonville or for Washington. But like I said, I don't think every general manager in the league thinks Nick Foles is great, right? Nick Foles had a great Super Bowl. He had a great Super Bowl. He had a great run. There was something special with him and the Eagles and stuff. There was a little magical run. You can't deny it, but it doesn't mean there'll be a magical run on the Redskins, right? With no wide receivers or whatever. The NFL situation, what up, Larry? The NFL situation will start to pick up now. The combine is in like 2 weeks. Next week, actually. Not this week, but next week. It's like on the 28th. So the combine is coming up. Kyler Murray's pro day is coming up March 13th. And that's the big, he's the big debate right now. I was reading, it doesn't surprise me, but the Raiders are supposedly pretty interested right now in Kyler Murray. Like they're one of the front runners right now, and they're pretty high up there in the draft. They're drafting 3rd overall, I think, the Raiders. So basically, supposedly the Raiders do like Kyler Murray. Gruden likes him, and Derek Carr will get dealt. See, there's a few dominoes to fall. Joe Flacco going to Denver really wasn't one of them. No one saw that coming, right? Like Joe Flacco's not like, he wasn't at the top of the order here, right? So it's weird Elway went after him. Like I said, Flacco's a short-term fix. Flacco, listen, I don't think Flacco is the worst quarterback in the world. I just think he's done. I don't think physically he's healthy enough to play. I don't see Flacco staying healthy for 16 games. Carr's not done. Carr's still young. Carr's not done. It's just he needs, the question is though, who wants him, right? Like, where's he going to end up? There's not a lot of quarterback spots out there. That's the thing. There's not a lot of open spots, right? You got Jacksonville. Washington's going to need a quarterback. Carr to Washington makes a lot of sense. A brother-to-brother deal. Kyler Murray to the Raiders makes a lot of sense because that way the Raiders have a flashy quarterback moving forward going into Vegas with next year. I'm hanging on by like literally 2.5 points right here. 0.25. I've got 149.75, and the guy behind me's got 149.5. He's coming on. It's only a 2-game slate, right? So there's this game going on. There's not a lot of scoring, and there's the TCU game. There was a lot of shit on last night, man. You see, I didn't know that. You can't play college, really, huh? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like it has any effect. Like fucking me sitting like in, you know what I mean? Like anyone in New York has a fucking effect on these fucking kids. I tweeted a story out the other night, actually. That fuckstick, Lindsey Graham, wants to he wants to reinstore the Gambling Act. He wants to block online gambling. And of course, if you dig deeper, fucking Sheldon Adelson has given him a shitload of money just recently. And suddenly Lindsey Graham just like wrote the bill up and stuff. Like it's so transparent, these guys, like they don't even hide it. Like, I don't know, Adelson just buys them. Fucking yeah, he wants to restore the John McCain because his good friend John McCain, the Gambling Wire Act, whatever it's called. Now, it wouldn't stop state operators already, but he's like, oh, we can't have like the Wild West and all these companies doing gambling and stuff online. He's like, what about the children and all that bullshit? It's like, dude, it's impossible to fucking play. Fuck, like, you need so much fucking ID and fucking shit to log into these fucking sites. It's a pain in the ass, if anything, to be honest. It's amazing, though, how these people fight progress, right? They fight like for their own. They fight for their own little profit over the good of everything. It was actually The Intercept of all people that had it, not like the mainstream. Like Because The Intercept basically was on him more so for just being Adelson's bitch, less so than gambling. Here it is. Even for Washington, the fight over online gambling has been unusual shady. Lindsey Graham has talked to U.S. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein several times about changing the Justice Department's interpretation of a law that banned interstate betting. The 2011 Justice Department announced the law effectively legalized online gambling last month. The department reversed that opinion. I've been pushing this from day one. Senator Dianne Feinstein and myself have been asking them to change this absurd interpretation because it leads to the Wild West. In 2011, the Department of Justice issued a legal opinion clarifying that the Wire Act, a federal law passed in 1961 and to stop interstate betting, applied only to sports betting and not only on other forms of gambling. This announcement opened the doors for states to begin legalizing online gambling, now an industry worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Last week, The Intercept reported the Justice Department's recent reversal of its 2011 stance, a long-sought cause of Sheldon Adelson, the Republican billionaire. The new Justice Department interpretation was released in the middle of a government shutdown on January 14th. Now, thank God, Rosenstein. Now, you know, Rosenstein's in the middle of this Trump shit, right? So, as The Intercept was reported, the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein wanted little to do with any of his gambling brouhaha, according to people close to him. People have consistently checked in with Rosenstein over the last 2 years to get him to fucking reverse the online gaming. He consistently says he has no interest in this issue. There's more important things going on, said one gaming industry executive. It goes on to basically just fucking follow the money. Yeah, one of the people, their talking point is Americans lost $118 billion in personal wealth to government-sanctioned gambling schemes in 2018, with another $1 trillion projected to be lost over another 6 to 8 years. I think Adelson's voice was influential, but he was the linchpin of a phony narrative the gambling industries in this country are pushing to try to get the new opinion flipped. Oh, yeah. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't even like, it's the hypocrisy is so comical in that Adelson funds these groups that say gambling's bad. So Adelson, Sheldon Adelson, one of the richest men in America, is funding this group that spreads the evils of gambling. So $118 billion, ruins families, blah, 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 all this other stuff. Yet Sheldon Adelson is the chairman of the Sands Corporation, a gambling company. Yet they actually say with a straight face, oh, the fact that the gambling industry is trying to shut down other gamblers is ridiculous. Like, this is all about the children. Like, if Sheldon Adelson has such a problem with gambling, then why don't you sell all your shares in your gambling company? Fuck. Like, basically, he's just stating, no, gambling's okay if I run it, but we can't have other people doing it. And the thing is, he's so powerful, this guy. This guy gives, he's a kingmaker in the Republican Party. Like, if you don't play ball with him, he doesn't give you money, and then you're fucked because he gives a lot of money. It was like the other thing that Wynn and Adelson got about sharing the tips with casino management. And it was the same thing. The only reason it didn't pass is because of the government shutdown. And basically, it was like Adelson was fucking seen with the fucking guy that makes the decisions. And Steve Wynn's fucking old cronies and shit. Listen, I remember that shit. I personally, I don't play at his places. I don't play at Adelson's casinos. And I'm not a big fan of Steve Wynn, to be honest with you. I'm not really a fan of any of these fucking casino owners. Fuck. Yeah, but these were the same people, Fanatical Jim and Ryan. These were the same people that also didn't want like Jersey and other states and like people doing sports betting, right? Like instead of just competing openly, like it's pretty simple, Shetland. Fucking start your Sands online fucking apps and shit. Right? You know what I mean? But instead of doing that, it's easier instead of competing, it's easier just to bribe off the politicians. Fuck. You know what I mean? Like you compete, then you got to do a lot of things. It's easier just to say, listen, fuck, we'll give $100 million to the fucking Republicans and they'll have to do what I say. And they do, because it's so much money all the time. Like he's the biggest donor, fuck. Like he really is the biggest donor. I think he gave $114 million to Trump, fuck. Like it was an insane amount of money, you know, through every little sort of angle that he can type thing, you know? Like if he doesn't like you and you don't go along with his Israel policy and his gambling policy and everything, look, he bought the fucking newspaper in Vegas, fuck, because he didn't like the coverage of his paper, of his casino and him. Yeah, exactly. So he is that. Exactly. Like he's, you know, dude, he's one of the most powerful men in the country. Which I don't care about, but it's like, why, you know what I mean? Like the little moral shit and is this stuff. You know, like the weed stoppages and shit. You know what I mean? Anheuser-Busch and like Molson and Coors, they're the biggest people. Oh, you can't smoke weed. It's like you guys are selling beer for fuck's sakes. Yeah, like you said, Dianne Feinstein, she's a piece of work. Fuck, they're the real ones that run shit. Like, you know, Feinstein, fucking Chuck Grassley, Orrin Hatch, fucking Schumer. It doesn't even matter about Republican, Democrat. They're all buddies. McConnell, you know, it's the president, like all that Fox News and everything. It's all a game. Fuck, like for the senators and those guys, it's all a game, dude. You know, they're all in bed with the same people. Fuck. You're right. Feinstein's like the worst. Like, if you read like about this shit, like she is the biggest. Like, she is the biggest. Let's spy on you. Let's fucking take. You know what I mean? Let's bomb everyone. Like, she is the biggest sort of like neocon like there is, basically. Like you said, though, even like Pelosi's just like making money and shit. She's just sort of fucking rich. You know what I mean? Her and her husband are like fucking billionaires and shit. And they're just, you know, stocks and fucking pigs at the trough type shit. Pelosi ain't a big policy pusher and shit. Feinstein's like the one that's fucking, she's like a real fucking hawk, man. She ran for governor of California when I lived there. She lost. She lost. She ran for governor when I lived there, I remember. Yeah, like Pelosi's like a mob. Like, exactly, Drew. Like, you know, Trump and Pelosi behind closed doors get along and shit, right? Like, she's like a hustler, fucking dealer, right? It's all about money. You know what I mean? Like, for her, it's just how much money am I getting out of this? What's in it for us? What stock do we know about? Like, she's just a game. She just plays the game. Like I said, Feinstein, she's fucking like, she's ruthless. Like, she's like at the head of like this shit. She's never met a spy thing she never liked. She's never met a fucking war she didn't like. Like I said, she ran for governor of California. She got smoked. Fuck, she didn't win. I'm up by 1 point right now. We're hanging off for dear life in this contest. Can we pull it out? Come on, man. Exactly, token. That's a good way of putting it. It's a very good way of putting it. I don't know what's going on in Canada with this shit. I know Woodbine. I know Woodbine was pushing this. Here it is. Yeah. Like Woodbine basically sees exactly what's going on over at FanDuel in New Jersey, right in Toronto here. Basically, yeah, the CEO of Woodbine, Jim Lawson. So sports betting is very much on our radar screen. We're strong believers with the infrastructure of our tote system and our online wagering system that we already have the whole backbone to run sports betting. Look, Doug Ford is pretty. Doug Ford is very. Doug Ford is very pro sports and gambling and shit. So he's not going to get in the way of it. The only thing is the fuckstick Trudeau. He's got so many fucking problems, right? You know that sports betting is like low on his fucking list. The thing is, it's good for the economy. That's what's stupid. Like, I actually wrote letters. Like, I sent emails. Actually, I sent emails to Proline a few times, telling them like, listen, like you're idiots. You got to get this together. And I even sent a letter to Kathleen Wynne. I sent an email to the premier. I basically stated like I said, I know, I'm sure you have a lot of problems. Like, I get it. There's a lot of priorities in the province that you don't. I get it. Like, if you're the premier of a province, you're the governor, you're not thinking about, like, oh, what's going on in the sports betting world, right? Oh, we're not doing the right parlays. Like, she doesn't know anything about this shit. But the thing is, it's money. It's money you're leaving on the table, fuck. Right? Like, you got to run it better, but they just don't care. Like, that's the whole thing. And then it just leads, and then they bitch. Oh, fuck, Canadians spent $8 billion offshore. Well, it's because your fucking systems suck. Like, look at Quebec. Like, look at Misogy's website. Just look right now. Like, fucking, I'll get the link for you. Like, they actually made it where it's like, fuck, you don't even need to play online. I'll make it in English for you. Like, holy fuck. It's like what don't they have on this? All right, sports. Online. Look, you can bet on the Oscars, fuck. You can bet on the Oscars. You can bet on esports. You can bet on what's this television. You can bet on who's going to win the fucking Quebec version of their singing show, which I don't know what the name of it is now. They always have new shows there. Rugby, car racing, MMA, football, American. What do they have? They have Super Bowl futures up. Like right now with the Quebec government, like I said, like they've realized Quebec has always been sort of like with this one game shit. Because by law you're supposed to do 2 bets, but Quebec's been doing 1. Like they've been doing this for a few years. Like they took action on the Super Bowl point blank, and here it is. Like here's who will win the fucking Super Bowl, 2019 Super Bowl. They have the odds up. And it's pretty much the same as they are everywhere, fair odds. So you can play a future. Let's see, hockey. They have 551 hockey options to bet on. You can bet on the NHL fucking draft right now here. Which team will pick first? NHL awards, playoffs. Look at this. Look at the props they got even. This is insane. How will the Montreal Canadiens do in the playoffs? Will not make playoffs, 225. Eliminated in first round, 170, 190. Eliminated in second round, 475. Eliminated in third round, 15-1. We'll lose in the Stanley Cup final, 19-1. We'll win the Stanley Cup final, 30-1. They got Stanley Cup futures, how the Canadians will do. It's fucking insane. Yeah, it's a good call, Chip. Yeah, the Maple Leafs are 9-1, but for you, English bastard, it's fucking 12-1. So Will says the Canadians will not make the playoffs. All right, so here it's 225. Holy shit. It's plus 225, fuck. Yeah, so you'll get plus 225, Big Will. You can just play 1 ticket. You play plus 2, they'll give you a plus 225. See, it's Montreal, right? So you get good odds if you want to fade the Canadians. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, look at all the options they have here. Like, if you're in Quebec, you could actually bet every day without any online anything. You know what I mean? Like, they have all these options. How many points? They got player props, fucking futures, you name it. You know, you compare it to Ontario. It's a fucking joke. They really raised the level of their game though. It wasn't like this good in the early days. They got better. Yeah, what's cool too, exactly. It's sort of like if you're in the province of Quebec. I never signed up. You have to sign up, but like it's pretty easy. Like fucking I know people that have signed up. They said, yeah, it's fucking easy. And they put the money in your bank, fuck, which is pretty cool. and fast too. So like you play online and you win online with Lotto Quebec, the money's in your bank account the next day. So like you can just give them your bank account when you sign up, and every time you win, ding, the money just goes right in your bank. It's pretty cool. I don't know where Jazz is at tonight. Oh shit, I'm in second place now. Fuck. Son of a bitch. I'm down by 5 points. No, I'm down by. I got 211.75. He's got 213.5. Who does he have? Motherfucker. I can't tell. Let me go fucking. Let's see. Show hiding players. Yeah, view head to head. Hide shared players. Oh fuck. We have all the same players except for one. He's gonna win because his guy's got 7 minutes left in the game. Fuck. Close. Close. If you look at Quebec here, they got a casino. Of course they do. Fuck. Slot machine, $18 trial gift. Live blackjack, live roulette, live baccarat. Anchorman, slot machine. They got like fucking a million slot machines. Video poker. What's this? XP games. It's like fucking computer games. Wizard of Odds for money and shit like that. Poker, bingo, sports, casino, lottery. They got quite the website here. It's a fucking degenerate gambler's fucking little haven. It's a little motherfucking haven here. So yeah, we weren't on last night, but UFC was on last night. Kind of frustrating. I took Cain Velasquez, and whatever, fuck. What are you gonna do? You know. We hit a few winners last night in the UFC, but we ended up. It would have been a nice night to close. Like fuck, I went to the sports book yesterday too. I played the All-Star game. Fuck, I thought I was gonna hit Giannis. I had St. John's, but I had the over also. And then after, I'm like, whatever, fuck. I'm gonna hit Cain Velasquez. Fuck, Cain will win. He'll take him down. He'll win. Never got a chance to fucking take him down. He got punched in the fucking head 26 seconds in, and his knee gave out. I'm not making excuses for him. It is what it is, but his knee did give out. It wasn't the punch. It was the knee. Fuck. He got hit. He got hit, but he was okay. And you see, he was going in for a takedown. He sort of went in, and he gets hit. And he's sort of gone, and you see, if you watch the highlight, his fucking knee like fucking buckles and shit. You even see him go, fucking. Like, you know, he was all right. He got hit. He was fine. You know, but it was when he said, and then fucking Ngannou's smart. He's not stupid. Ngannou, I'll give him credit. Ngannou fucking hurt him and fucking bang, 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 like fucking got him a couple more times. It was a fair win. I'm not bitching. It is what it is, but it's just too bad. It's too bad for Cain. After 3 years, you come back, you pop your fucking knee like that. That's what happens, though. Exactly, Brooks. That's what I was going to say. Like, you haven't fought in 3 years. He's never been in good shape to begin with. He didn't really want to fight. You know what I mean? He wasn't like, you know, that's what happens. You got all that weight. It's one thing to train and shit. Suddenly you're going that fucking fast, that intense, that much weight on your fucking knee and shit. Ngannou hits you and your fucking knee pops. It's like playing a real NFL game after 3 years. You're getting hurt on the first play type thing, you know? It's like, well, that's what happens when you're out for 3 years. Fuck. Listen, the UFC. the UFC is the UFC on ESPN is good. The production is good. It's sharper than it was on Fox. It's crisper. Like ESPN's not fucking around. Like they go into the next fight pretty fast. Everything's pretty well. It's pretty like it moves along pretty well. But it's too long. Like yesterday was too long. You know what I mean? I didn't even watch it all. I jumped in. I was watching the All-Star game. I was going back and forth, but I jumped in basically. Look, one of those fights was really good. Which was the one that was awesome? Fuck. Barberina and Luque. Barberina and Luque was a fucking good tilt. I watched that, but for the most part, it's just too. You know what I mean? It's like going to a card. Fuck, you can't get there at 6 o'clock, right? This shit started at fucking 6:30, man. The Fight Pass started at 6:15, I think. ESPN came on at 7, or ESPN whatever was on earlier, and fucking, you know, and then there it was. It was 12:15 at night. It's like, guys, you've been on for 5.5 hours. Like, it's too much. Like basically at the end of it, I was like, same with the Daytona 500. Like, holy shit, that's long, man. Man, I was watching the Daytona 500. I was here. I fucking fell asleep watching it. You know, not like it was boring, but I just sort of dozed off. I got up. I went to the sports book. I came back from the sports book. And I turned back to the Daytona 500, and it's like fucking, there was like 137 laps left still. I'm like, holy fuck, guys. Like, it's too fucking long. Like, what for the UFC or the Daytona, Brooks? Denny Hamlin won. Denny Hamlin won the Daytona 500. There was a massive crash. What a shock. There was a massive crash with like 13 laps left. The whole race took a long fucking time, but you know what I mean? There was constant stoppages and shit. And then, and the weather was fine too. It wasn't even weather. It was just constant stop, and they cleaned the track up, and it took forever. And fucking, then of course, with 13 laps left, there was the mother of all fucking crashes. It took out like fucking, I don't know, man. It took out like half the field, literally. Including my guy and Keselowski. Like, of course, right? Fuck, what a, and of course, like, you know, what a bitch, fuck. Oh yeah, just look up the crash, Drew. It was fucking, there was like 13 cars. It wasn't like a violent crash, but it was like everybody's out of the race crash. You know what I mean? Basically, like everyone sort of just fucking, everyone just collided at once, like fucking 12 cars. Like they all boom. One guy sort of fucking veered. No, like no one can figure it out. Like they watched it, I watched it over and over, and even the guys in the booth were like, "We can't really figure out like how this started." Fucking like, did anyone, Larry or Brooks, did anyone like, did they ever figure out who started it all? Like who was to blame? Like everyone got out, and no one was really blaming anybody. People are like, I don't know, man, it's fucking one of those Daytona things, you know? It was basically because they were like 4 wide. They were like 4 wide. You know, it was 13 laps left. Everybody was going for it. They were like 3, 4 wide, man. They were fucking like, it was literally like trading paint. They were all like in close. And then it just happened. Fuck. Somebody slid out and fucking, it was a spark fest, man. It was like a fireworks show. Fuck. It was just nothing but metal, like grating along the concrete, fucking the pavement. Fucking sparks and fucking, no one got hurt or anything, really. It was pretty cool. They were showing the views of each guy's perspective of it. there was really like nothing anyone could do. Like it was basically like you're going along and then it just like there was no reaction time. You know what I mean? Yeah, the plate races, that's what happens. Fuck. Was it Menard's fault? That's what happens in the plate races, though. Everyone's too. It's everyone's drafting. Everyone's in. So one guy goes in, everyone's down. Basically, you want to either be at the front or the back at Daytona. You don't want to be in the middle. But there was 13 laps left, fuck, right? So they were trying. Everyone was trying to bust fucking like try to separate and shit. I had a puncher's chance because Keselowski was in 7th place when this happened. Yeah, NASCAR DFS. Who's talking about NASCAR DFS? Fanatical Jim. Yeah. You're in it. It's like betting on NASCAR. You're fucking in it and you're not. I didn't even get mad. You know. The problem with the drafting shit is you don't control your own destiny, Brooks, right? Like you're drafting behind someone, then you're at his mercy, fuck, right? And then the people behind you, everyone's at each other's mercy. So like I said, like you either want to be at the back or the front. If you're in the front, you don't got to worry about it. If you're at the back, you have time to go around it. Like, look, like Joey Logano fucking went around it. He nearly won the fucking race. Logano was a lucky bastard somehow. Like they showed his view. It was crazy. Like fucking, he was like sort of in the middle of it, but they fucking yelled. It was pretty cool. Like his team was good. They were like, Joey, they fucking yelled. And he fucking, whoa, and he fucking sort of went to the right and he fucking like collided off of someone. Boom. But it sort of like catapulted him. Like he bounced off of someone and he just fucking took off out of it. And then everyone else fucking crashed. Yeah, I bet on Ford to fucking win yesterday. Fucking Toyota. Toyota's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, listen, good for Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs' son died. You know, they win the race and shit. It's good for him. I have bad luck with NASCAR. Like I always crash at the end or I finish second. You know what I mean? Like fucking, I've had bad luck. Speaking of which, I'm plummeting. I'm now in 5th place. Fuck. Here's something I see here. Study. Air quality level inside average U.S. home may be comparable to a major city. Now, I don't know what TV show it was or what comedian. Maybe you guys will know, but it might have been Seinfeld in one of his dumb observations before the show. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was Seinfeld or somebody. But I think it might have been Seinfeld. He said about like the smog advisory warning. And he's like, you know, when they tell you to stay inside, he's like, wouldn't the air in your house be the same? And I don't know if it was him, but I thought the same thing when I saw this. They're like, the average U.S. home's air quality is comparable to a polluted major city. So wouldn't your air quality in your home sort of just be the same as it is in whatever fucking city you're living in? like if you're in Mexico City and you close the door, you're still in Mexico City breathing the air. You know what I mean? I could close the air. The Hudson's still right. The door. The Hudson's still right there. Like I don't really understand this study. It's like, yeah. We're gonna lose the total of this fucking game. Man, West Virginia really are terrible. West Virginia scored 51 points. Here's another interesting story. Bay Area prosecutors are trying to prove that a man arrested during a prostitution sting was guilty of pimping charges. And among the evidence was a series of Instagram DMs, which he allegedly sent to a woman. One read, "Teamwork make dream work." Said, "Teamwork make the dream work," with high heels and a money bag emoji placed at the end. Prosecutors said the message implied a working relationship between the two of them. The defendant said it could mean he was trying to strike up a romantic relationship. This is great. It says judges are having a hard time. Judges don't know what emoji means. So like people are like, so they're actually arguing in courts and like what an emoji actually meant. Teamwork make the dream work, with high heels and a money bag. This is great. He said, well, it could have been I was trying to start up a relationship. In fact, emojis are showing up in evidence in courts more frequently and frequently between 2004 and 2019. There was an exponent 2004, 2019. There's been an exponential rise in emoji references in U.S. courtrooms, with over 30% of all cases in 2018 having an emoji as part of evidence. Are you shitting me? I'm of the belief that Twitter and Facebook shouldn't even be admissible. Like what people say online is bullshit. You can't, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's insane that we're in this era now. Like, oh, you tweeted this. So what? Fuck. I could be lying. I could be making shit up. Fuck. Like, you're going to hold people accountable to their tweets and emojis? I don't even know what emojis is. What if I tweet some emoji? Oh, yeah, you're a Coke dealer. Fuck. So what, you fucking have emoji of snow? I want to hear some of the arguments about this shit. This guy, to me, is pretty obvious, though. Teamwork make the dream work. High heels and a money bag. The emojis have overtaken emoticons. I don't even know what those are. From murder to robbery, we're going to see emojis show up more frequently than the case involves people talking to each other. In murder cases, emojis can be found in threats that took place between a defendant and a victim. They serve as evidence to suggest the defendant's state of mind or whether they had the propensity to commit the crime. So holy shit, they're checking to see whether you fucking send a smiley face or not. In 2000, listen to this, in 2017, a couple in Israel was charged thousands of dollars in fees after a court ruled that their use of emojis to a landlord signaled their intent to rent the apartment. After sending an enthusiastic text confirming they wanted the apartment, which would contain a string of emojis, including a champagne bottle, a squirrel, and a comet, they stopped responding to the landlord's text and went on to rent a different apartment. The court declared that the couple acted in bad faith, ruling that the emojis conveyed great optimism that naturally led to the plaintiff's belief that they were going to rent his apartment. All right, they go on to say, well, prosecutors often do bring up emojis. They're often used as immaterial. Many judges say, I can't deal with emojis because it's not relevant to the case. But emojis are a critical part of communications in today's society. In cases where transcripts of online communication are being read to the jury, they need to be characterized. In the matter of the prostitution case in San Francisco, an expert specializing in sex trafficking was called in to testify. He said the high heels and bags of money supported the interpretation the defendant was accused of sex trafficking, essentially translating to wear your high heels to come make some money. Another message from the defendant included the crown emoji, which said slightly that the pimp is the king. Ultimately, the ruling didn't hinge on the emojis, but they still provided evidentiary support to the case. Can you believe this shit? We're gonna be you're sitting in court and they're arguing about emojis. It's like, wow. It's like Shauna with your knife emoji, Shauna. See? Oh, now you guys are all going with your emojis. There you go. Where's Shauna? Shauna always has this knife emoji. Like if somebody gets killed in Shauna's neighborhood now, they're gonna ask us, is it true that Shauna was using a knife emoji? We'll be like, yeah, he started just recently. He was using a knife emoji for some reason. They're pretty hardcore, man. It's real. That's awesome. The fact that you sent smiley emojis in a champagne bottle led the person to believe that the deal was done. That's awesome. It's not a knife. This is a knife. My emoji game is weak. They're saying judges need to now know the importance of what emojis mean. Yeah, it's going to go well. I see a movie right now, like it's like My Cousin Vinny, but instead it'll be like emoji. So like you have a serious like murder case and you bring in some fucking sassy chick. This emoji means that. Speaking of which, Roger Stone apologizes after he posts his photo of a federal judge who imposed a gag order with crosshairs next to her head. He denies that it was meant as a threat. Yeah, you're a real piece of work, this guy. He's a real piece of fucking work. Like, he posted a picture on Instagram of the fucking federal judge that's doing his case that's already thrown Manafort in jail with like a crosshairs right next to her head. And he writes, through legal trickery, deep state hitman Robert Mueller is guaranteed my upcoming show trial is before Judge Amy Berman Jackson, an Obama-appointed judge who dismissed Benghazi charges against Hillary Clinton. She was never charged with anything. Like I don't know what you're even talking about. Like they just say things. And incarcerated Paul Manafort prior to his conviction for any crime. Help me fight for my life at Stone Defense Fund. First person like says, don't worry, Donnie's going to pardon you. People are like, you really are a stupid idiot, aren't you? Hours later, he's like, I'm very sorry. He's like, I humbly asked for forgiveness. I didn't mean that it was not meant to be any sort of threat. Like, fuck, this guy's an idiot. Roger Stone, listen, he's going to jail, but he's convinced he's going to get a pardon, right? But the thing is, like, yeah, like Trump will probably pardon you, but a lot of things can happen before then. You know what I mean? Like, put it this way. Like, Trump ain't going to pardon you before the election. All right. So, like, you know, even Manafort. Manafort's in jail. You're not going to get pardoned before the election. Like, he's not going to do that. Like, even Trump knows, like, he ain't going to pardon you before the election. It'll look too bad. So, you got to wait for him to win again. So, that's another 2 years. And you better hope he wins. He probably will, but you better hope he wins. And then you better hope that he doesn't change his mind. And then, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things like, exactly. Like, you waiting for a pardon, man. Like, fucking, it ain't happening like next week, bro. He pardoned Sheriff Joe Arpaio. That's different. You know what I mean? Like, that was easy. Like, Sheriff Joe, whatever. That was different. Like, it's not easy to rip you out of a federal, like, thing like this. Like, fucking, it would look real bad to him, too. So, you're screwed. Like, I'd shut the fuck up if I was you. like these dudes, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the hell Roger Stone's thinking. I don't know what the hell this guy's thinking. Dude, if you see Roger Stone coming at you, you cross the street, Big Will. Yeah, this guy has swinger parties, and then he blackmails you for it after. He's a snake. like Trudeau, I'm looking at Drudge Report here. Trudeau's got like the front right cover too, right in the middle. Justin Trudeau's political crisis widens. Top aide resigns. Grand Canyon tourists exposed to radiation for years. That's nice to know. For nearly 2 decades at the Grand Canyon, tourists, employees, and children on tours passed through 3 paint buckets stored in National Park Museum Collection Building, unaware they were being exposed to radiation. Okay, oh God. Celino and Barnes, your personal injury attorney. Like, how long before the ads on TV? Have you been to the Grand Canyon in the last 20 years? You were exposed to radiation. Yeah, for nearly 2 decades, at the Grand Canyon, tourists, employees, and children on tours passed through 3 paint buckets stored in the National Parks Museum Collection Building, unaware that they were being exposed to radiation. Although federal official learned last year that the 5-gallon containers were brimming with uranium, they then removed the radioactive specimens. The park safety director alleged nothing was done to warn park workers and the public they might have been exposed. In a rogue email sent to all Park Service employees on February 4th, Elston Swede Stevenson, the health, safety and health and wellness manager, described the alleged cover-up as a top management failure. If you were in a museum collections building between the year 2000 and June 2018, you were exposed to uranium. The radiation readings at first blush exceeds the Nuclear Regulatory Commission's safe limits. Identifying who was exposed and your exposure level gets tricky. And that's our next important task. Respectfully, it was not only immoral to not let our people know, but I could no longer risk my health certification by letting this go on any longer. According to Stevenson, uranium specimens have been in a basement at a park headquarters for decades. They were moved to the museum building when it opened. One of the buckets was so full that its lid wouldn't close. The public affairs specialist says there's no risk to the public. And in the big story of the day, here's something kind of creepy, to be honest. Where is it? They basically made the first porn with a robot, with real people. And it's like they're making a shitload of money. It's like some sort of mini series type thing. They put big money into this. I think it was made in England. So it's basically, it's like a threesome with a chick, a dude, and a fucking sex robot chick. Fuck. Where's the fucking story? It's basically the future of porn. There's another story here. Some dude, he's impregnated. His sperm's been used for 25 fucking hundred kids. That's some fucked up shit. Wouldn't that, like, you really want to be like known? Oh, let's look at this. It's a crazy picture of the Vegas sign here covered in snow. Rare LA megastorm could overwhelm dam and flood dozens of cities. I think the West Coast is getting pretty hit this fucking winter. I saw that. Like, I didn't realize Vegas was snowing this much. I saw people do it earlier, but holy fuck, it's a lot of snow for Vegas. I said it snowed once when I was in Vegas, but it melted. Oh, Vegas guns in Vegas. Fuck. Is it snowing right now? All this bad weather everywhere. Fuck New York, the weather's been pretty good this winter. Snowed a few times, went away for the most part. It's a little cold right now. Well, it's a little windy and shit like that, but it's not that bad. It's a cold night tonight, but generally overall. Yeah, I see a picture of the Vegas sign here, and it's all snowy and shit. So we're 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks into this AAF stuff now. I don't know if you guys are trailing my picks or not, but you should be. We've won 7 of 11. We're 7-4. I'm actually 8-4 because I played a teaser that I didn't post yesterday too. I should have posted it, but I didn't. You know what I mean? It's funny because in week 1 they didn't let me tease the game. I actually tried. I tried to tease the AAF in week 1, and Bookmaker didn't let me. And I tried again yesterday, and they did for some reason. So I did that at the last second, but so we're actually 8-4. Oh, I'm actually 8-3, but we're 7-4 posted. That's it. But we'll live with the posted ones. But I'm telling you, we're going to do well in this league all the way through. 7-4. It should be fucking. It should be 8-3 for us too. Like San Antonio, it was a fun football game yesterday. Like I said, the scoring's starting to go up a little bit. We did a good job picking which games would be scoring and which wouldn't. The quality of football was a little better. You know, you're starting to see who's good and what the deal is with the league here a bit. Another couple of weeks, we'll have it figured out. I like this league, though. It's a nice, quick season. It's not like overbearing, 10 weeks and shit. We're already going to be going into week 3 here. I'll tell you, though, Steve Spurrier's team is good. The Orlando team has a very good offense. Like, it's like bombs away. Like, it's fun. Like, Orlando are a fun team to watch. Like, they're running crazy offense. And, like, it's not like gimmick shit, but it's spread offense, a lot of deep stuff. Garrett Gilbert's got a strong arm. I'll give him credit. Like, he was throwing some bombs yesterday. They were hitting a few of them, too. Like, they got good wide receivers on Orlando. They can score. Like, they're for real, that team. They could score. Arizona didn't cover for us, but they came back. That was in bad weather. It's something to remember. Memphis's defense is good, you know? So it's fun league. We're 2 weeks in here. We're going to talk some AFL on the morning show this week. I think we're going to get some coaches on and players and shit like that. Now, I spoke to Corey briefly earlier tonight. And I asked him, I said, hey, yo, you getting that fucking YouTube? I told him get a YouTube page going and shit, you know? But he actually said he had a couple of things in the works. So hopefully I'll speak to him tomorrow. See, hopefully things are going well. Yeah, it's too bad. Listen, we went 3-1 tonight. It's nice, but it would have been nice to go 4-0, wouldn't it? Would have been nicer to go 4-0 tonight. After the show tonight, I'm gonna fucking unplug my modem, plug it back in, my computer, turn it off. I haven't turned my computer off in days. I never turn my computer off, so but something's weird. Something's like every time I change sites, like it takes a while to load, and like I don't know, something's going on. What's that called? Who the week after? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, hopefully, like I said, hopefully he falls on his feet quickly. Yeah, so it would have been nice. Like I said, 4-0 would have been good, but hey, it is what it is. It's a plus night. See, I don't know where Jazz is tonight, but Jazz should be in Toronto later in the week. I got my ticket out of Toronto, so I'm hooked up. I don't have a ticket to the game. That's something we're going to have to deal with. Yeah, Jazz is around earlier in the day. I saw him online and shit, but might be busy tonight or whatever. But yeah, Jazz will be in town. Shawno's coming up. Rockamaniac, I didn't realize coming. You know, Rockamaniac, we're going to put in the Hall of Fame, actually. I don't have time to do a plaque and everything. Mick never got a plaque, actually. Maybe we'll have an impromptu Hall of Fame ceremony this week. Cam will be in the house. Shauno's coming up from the Kitchener area, Waterloo. Did you move yet, Sean? You said you were moving before when I met you, right? Or you're moving in the area anyways. Yeah, if anyone needs advice, like if anyone needs advice, like to where to stay or something, let me know. At least I know the areas. I can tell you, all right, you know, or hotels that are a little cheaper and shit. Yeah, we'll get him. I'll talk to him about what he has and shit. I got to figure out how we're going to handle Friday. I think Cam will probably do the radio show, maybe with Kurtz or something, or I'm going to be in the air, right? I land at 4 o'clock supposedly, but it's always delayed. You know what I mean? I'm going to land probably at about 4:30 or something. Hopefully there's nothing like fucking. Imagine I could get screwed, fuck, but there's nothing I could do. But the planes are like 2 o'clock or something. So if it's delayed a bit. There should be enough window for me to get there for the game. Even if it's delayed, I have a couple hours window. But yeah, so the Friday show, Cam will probably do it. I'll get to Toronto. I'll call in for the last half hour or something from wherever when I get there. You got to start planning this shit though. Like I said, so it looks like I think we'll do this Wild Wings. Bathurst and King. Yeah, we're gonna find some futures too, Grinch, but I'm not gonna force them. I'm gonna find the right ones. Oklahoma City are hot though. If you can put yourself in a nice hedge, if they can make it against Golden, you know what I mean? It's good odds to win the West. They just have to get to the final, then you can hedge it. Yeah, we're gonna kick the tires on the CFL one more. Duke at plus 180 is not great. That's not. It's kind of You remember it was a couple of years in a row we hit the Stanley Cup Final NBA one. It was basically Golden State Warriors and whatever. I remember I hit it with the Spurs. I've done it for years. We didn't do it last year because we had the World Cup once. That was a disaster. Fucking Germany. Well, look, Duke will be big. Duke will be favored in every game, right, Brooke? So if you look at it like that, it's not bad. But the problem is, I'm just stating, it won't be much lower once the tournament starts. Like, you might get 160 or 175 or something. Yeah, Duke, that's what I'm saying. So I got the Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals right. I think last year maybe they weren't correlated. They didn't start yet or whatever. Yeah, what is Duke and Golden State? Now with DeMarcus Cousins, like they're too much. Fuck 4-2 Bruins right now too. All right, Warriors and Duke. That's not bad. Plus 328. Duke and the Warriors plus 328. That's not bad at all. The Stanley Cup is hard to predict who's going to win. Probably maybe Tampa, but every year Tampa's the favorite. They never win, right? The NHL is sort of all over the place. This show will be fun once, we're in the dog days here now. The show will be cool once, we have games on, right? It's a slow week this week. We'll get through this week. The conference tournaments are around the corner. And then, March Madness. And once the playoffs are on, every night will just be fucking crazy, right? NHL, NBA. That should be cool here, too, because Brooklyn's going to go to the playoffs. The Brooklyn Nets are going to make the playoffs. All right, is there exhibition games on Thursday already? What do you mean starts Thursday? Were they playing like the college teams and shit like that? I know, because I think Cactus League and the exhibition's still a little ways away, isn't it? MLB. Looks like Bryce Harper signing with the Phillies, but we don't know. Schedule. Regular spring training. Here we go. Yes, sir. Thursday. You're right. Thursday, February 21st. So, yeah, it's one good thing with Ranieri. He knows baseball. He played baseball, Ranieri, at Oklahoma State. I think Ranieri might have been drafted by the Giants or something. I talked to him briefly today. I knew that. I asked him, I said, you played at Oklahoma State? He's like, yeah. He goes, I played baseball at Oklahoma State. And he goes, I played for I was in the San Francisco Giants system, but he said I played minor league baseball for 3 years or something. So it'll be good perspective when it comes to baseball with Ranieri. All right, here we go. Yeah. I like these college games. The Yukon Huskies are playing against the Red Sox. Just not the same without seeing the Expos name in this schedule, though. They will be soon enough. Really? That's 43rd round, 1991. Didn't know that. So that's good. Yeah. So obviously he knows baseball. Look at Drew busting the shit out. He must have been good to get drafted out of high school. Yeah, he's from New York. He's from Long Island. He's in the same draft as Cliff Floyd and Manny Ramirez. Cliff Floyd, nice guy. That was the only guess Michelle Serpico got. She's like, "Oh, I know Cliff Floyd." I'm like, "What?" Well, she's like, "Yeah, I have his number and shit." She goes, Michelle used to be at the Major League Baseball Network. And Cliff Floyd came on during the playoffs, so you remember. It was good, too. He was good. He does Blue Jay games now, too, huh? That's one good thing, actually. We're going to have an in with the Jays this year if we don't rip them too much online. But Richard Griffin, the newspaper writer, Richard Griffin, is a good friend of Cam's, and he's a big fan of mine, too. I get along well with him and shit. He's been on a radio show quite a bit over the years, a few times, whatever shit comes up, you know. But he no longer works at the newspaper. He's the new PR guy for the Toronto Blue Jays. So, like, to book guests, you go through him. So, like, before, we'd never get these guys on, but now I know the PR guy. That's how this business works, right? So, we'll get it. We'll get like some Jays players on when the season gets going here. I'll speak to. I'll put the word out this week actually when I'm in Toronto there. Maybe we'll get Marcus Stroman on. Vladimir. I don't know what Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s English is like. Plus, he's not even on the team yet, right? So we'll take someone on the team. Fuck. There's a lot of vets. One of these vets will do it. Jeff Hostetler. I don't know why they would take him then. He was already playing football. Must have been another Jeff Hostetler. I'm looking at Hostetler's career here. He never played baseball. Let's see. Not that I see, actually. Let's see. Bad memories. Thanks for bringing him up. See here, he appeared in a Whitney Houston 2-hour special after the death of Whitney Houston due to the fact that he was at the Super Bowl and she performed an anthem. Yeah, we all remember about fucking him. To this day. The Mets drafted him in '89, huh? The Expos drafted a lot of the. There's a baseball card where Tom Brady is an Expo. There's actually like pictures of Tom Brady in Expos gear. Tom Brady was drafted by the Expos. And like I said, like actually enough that he's signed and shit. Like he's in uniform. There's like fucking pictures of Brady in Expos gear and shit. There's a baseball card out there for Tom Brady. Tom Glavine was drafted. Was Glavine drafted by the LA Kings? Was he the only one? But anyways, I got to get out of here. So, hey, we appreciate everyone checking in here tonight. We went 3-1 tonight. That's not bad. We'll get it going again tomorrow. We'll hit some fucking college. We'll start planning this Toronto trip a little bit more. We'll get this shit locked down. Doesn't seem like any of you are going to the game. We know Bruce isn't going to the game. He hates the Raptors. I thought of you yesterday, Bruce, during the All-Star game when they were talking about Kawhi Leonard and his 27 points a game or whatever. They were talking about how good Kawhi Leonard was. It was like, oh, yeah. I didn't see you on Twitter during the All-Star game. I'm sure you were fucking squawking during the game. Although, I'll tell you what, Kyle Lowry didn't fucking help us very much yesterday. Lowry was sort of playing at half speed. And you know who screwed us in the fucking All-Star game last night? It was fucking Steph Curry. Steph, there's always one guy that costs you the All-Star game. I remember years ago it was James Harden. He screwed me. It was a close game years ago. James Harden came in. It was a one-man wrecking crew. He fucking booted the ball out of bounds. He turned it over another time. He fucking missed like a layup. Like it was basically like a 3-minute sequence of hell for Harden in the All-Star game. And they lost by like a bucket. I was fucking pissed. And If you saw me on Twitter yesterday during the All-Star game, I tweeted, I was like, fucking Curry can't hit a shot. And Curry kept just shooting and shooting and shooting, and it wasn't going in. And he hit a couple. I was like, all right, good. But it really wasn't. Like, Curry was cold yesterday. He was just cold. Like, remember at the end of the game, it was like a 5-point game. It was, even when it was tied late, they blew the lead. The momentum was all with LeBron. But what happened, if you remember, was basically in the last, like, it was basically about the 5-minute mark. It got really close. And every time the team Giannis got the ball, Team Giannis, they would look to Curry because they were down 5. They were like, hit a 3, bro. You know what I mean? So they gave it to Curry like 3 or 4 possessions in a row. It was like Curry. And he threw an air ball once, basically. Like once it barely hit the rim, and other time, like all the other shots were like he was tired, you could tell. They were all short. All of his shots were short, fuck. You know what I mean? Like he was gassed, fuck, throughout the whole weekend and everything, and the 3-point contest and going back to Charlotte and shit. Yeah, they're going to, the dunk shit, they're going to need to fix. They're going to need to get better guys in the dunk contest. They can't have this bullshit. And another thing is, too, you know what, Fanatical Jim? They should have the dunk contest, like they should have the 3-point contest as the main event now. It's a come down. Like the skills contest was fun. People like, I'm not into the skills contest. The skills contest was great. We were watching it here. It was a lot of fun, the skills contest. The 3-point contest was off the fucking hook. That was great shit. It was entertaining as hell. One sharp shoot after another, bang, bang, bang. It was fucking crazy. And then the slam dunk comes on, and it was, ooh, the night just fucking ruined. They should fucking have the skills, the slam dunk, and then the 3-ball. But anyways, I got to get out of here. I appreciate the patronage. Quiet night tonight, but hey, I can only play the cards I'm dealt. There was nothing going on tonight. Like college basketball, we went 3-1, made you some money. Other than that, you're on your own. Thanks for the support. Tomorrow night will be episode 65. Later.